when it comes to Baker Mayfield, he's more like Faker Mayfield. People are jumping on the bandwagon, and I kind of understand. The Cleveland Browns are an extremely rootable team. I bet there's some fans of AFC North teams who are probably rooting for the Browns who aren't Browns fans. So when it comes to this, I definitely understand why everyone wants Baker Mayfield to do well. But at the same time, though, I think he's overrated. I really, truly do. And when it comes to my definition of overrated, it doesn't mean that he officially sucks. It just means he just got a little bit too much credit. Now, when it comes to the Cleveland Browns, it's never really been a talent issue. They've had talent on their roster. They just really can't find a true head coach. And right now, Hugh Jackson is a really bad head coach. He might be one of the worst head coaches in NFL history. I made 2 videos on why Hugh Jackson's bad. Click on the own time. But when it comes to it, I definitely feel as if the reason why Baker Mayfield is far more successful than his rookie class is because of one reason, and it's offensive coaching. And it's not necessarily about Hugh Jackson, it's about that white trash offensive coordinator, Todd Haley. And Todd Haley, there's some issues with him morally, but he's a lot better than what Sam Darnold has. Sam Darnold has Todd Bowles, who's a better head coach than Hugh Jackson, but he's not a great offensive mind. And reality, when you look at the Jets' history with Todd Bowles, he's done better with veteran quarterbacks than he's done with rookie quarterbacks. So starting Sam Darnold was fairly bold, but hey, it does kind of make sense. Look at Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen has a rookie head coach in Steve Wilks, defensive-minded. You look at Josh Allen. He's starting right out of the gate, which he should not be doing. And Sean McDermott, fairly young coach, second year coaching, and he's a defensive-minded guy. And then look at Lamar Jackson. He's starting at least behind Joe Flacco, so he has someone to at least kind of learn from. But John Harbaugh is the head coach, and John Harbaugh ain't bad. He's decent. He's a decent head coach. He's kind of degraded over the years, but let's be honest, guys, he's defensive-minded. And really, the main reason why I am making this video is because of one reason. People are comparing him to Brett Favre. And he's not the only one. A lot of people compare Mahomes to Brett Favre. And if you really want to simplify the differences, Mahomes is Brett Favre on the field versus Baker Mayfield is Brett Favre when it comes to personality. And when it comes to that and all, I definitely see what they're saying. But when it comes to Mayfield personality-wise to Brett Favre, I definitely feel as if that I see a lot of similarities in the fact that they're both kind of crazy, a little bit of divas. But at the same time, though, I think Mayfield is an edgier, but a more immature version of what Brett Favre was when maybe he was in his youth as a football or professional football player. And I just feel as if comparing the Brett Favre is still completely asinine. Brett Favre had one of the strongest arms in NFL history. Actually, I've even degraded Brett Favre right there. He had the strongest arm in NFL history. The only reason why he was a second-round pick was because his collegiate career was very subpar. Very subpar. But the fact that he had a lot of talent, a lot of teams were going to look at him. Kind of similar to why Christian Hackenberg was a second-round pick. But let's just say those are, one, you could be Christian Hackenberg, one of the worst quarterbacks drafted in the first 2 rounds I've seen in a long time. And same thing with Brett Favre. He's one of the best talents to ever be drafted. So when it comes to Mayfield, he doesn't have that talent. I'm not saying he has a noodle arm, but Brett Favre, what defined him was the arm strength. I don't really see the same arm strength with Mayfield. And that was a big part of Brett Favre's game. I definitely thought Brett Favre was more of a gambler. I just find it super asinine. I thought it was asinine when they compared Lamar Jackson to Mike Vick. I'm thinking to myself, Mike Vick is the fastest quarterback of all time. And don't get me wrong, Lamar Jackson's very fast for a quarterback. But arm strength-wise, Mike Vick blows Lamar Jackson out of the water when he was coming out. Ooh, Vick could toss that ball so freaking well. And I just don't see it. And it's the first year, it's the rookie year. Let's see what he does with the sophomore slump. Let's see what happens when teams start game planning for him. And plus, Mayfield, who has he beaten? He's beaten the New York Jets, who have been kind of in a rebuild stage. I definitely think they are. If they trade away Bridgewater and started Darnold, it's proof that they were somewhat rebuilding right there. And then they beat the Ravens, which is one of the more overrated defenses in the league. Let me get started on this. When it comes to the Ravens, they had some sort of score. Before they lost to the Browns, I think they had 20 straight games of scoring at least 20 points. Yet, they're always hovering around 500. They're an 8-8 team. You feel as if that if you could score at least 20-something points and and if you had a good defense, you feel as if that team should be a perennial playoff team. But they're not. They're not. They haven't been to the playoffs in 3 years, and it's probably going to be 4. So, they beat that, and they're both home games. So, I'm thinking to myself, it's really just not that impressive. Listen, look, I get it. The Browns fans haven't had many victories in the past 2 years. I get it. And so when you see a win, that's basically a Super Bowl for them. Them winning that Thursday night game with the Jets is a bigger deal than, let's just say, the Chiefs beating the Jacksonville Jaguars a week or two ago. And I understand. I understand that. But we got to put emotions aside and truly evaluate Baker Mayfield. And I feel as if that, he has potential. He seems like a pretty good pick, but I still don't think that Baker Mayfield should have been the first overall pick. He's bastardized. Sam Darnold probably should have. And you put Sam Darnold in the shoes of Baker Mayfield and just swap them, Sam Darnold is probably having a little bit more success right there. I think when it comes to personal success, I definitely think that's true. So overall, I think Baker Mayfield, he can be a pretty good player in this league. I definitely think that. But let's not compare him to one of the NFL all-time greats, legendary quarterbacks. I think that's unfair to Baker Mayfield. I think that's unfair to Brett Favre. It's just something that I think when it comes to NFL fans, they treat the NFL or football too religiously, and they just get caught up with all these emotions about it. Now, I would like to see what you guys think, because it's not all about me. Even though, it's just my face and all that in the video, I want to hear what you guys think. Because the comments, they're fun. Whether you think you agree with me, or whether you think I should drink bleach. So, I definitely look at the rest of the NFL. There's some news I kind of want to talk about. I think Le'Veon Bell should be traded off the Steelers. And I think I heard a report that the Steelers they're still trying to get a contract done with him. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the fact that they do is just so soft on them. If I feel as if this was the Bill Cowher Pittsburgh Steelers, which maybe not have been as good as the 70s, but they won a Super Bowl, so props to them. Le'Veon Bell would have been shipped out. They don't need him anymore. Just ship him out to Philadelphia. Get some good assets back for him. And put in this James Conner guy, who I definitely think is far less of a diva. And I think guys like Le'Veon Bell hurts your locker room because he's so freaking good. And other younger players are going to look at it as like, maybe if I act like a Le'Veon Bell more, maybe that's the reason why I'm successful. It's the same thing. I got a little bit of a problem with Antonio Brown, but at least Antonio Brown's playing, though. So, and Le'Veon Bell, he's always hurt. Just get rid of him. Put in this James Conner guy. I definitely feel as if he's more of a football player versus Le'Veon Bell. He's more focused on his mixtapes. And then, I definitely feel as if when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, I definitely feel as if I said that I might make an overrated video on him. I'm not 100% sure. Not entirely sure yet on him. I got some points on why. And then when it comes to Drew motherfucking Brees, people love this guy. And listen, look, I love hearing comments. I even love hearing comments from Drew Brees fans. I actually do. That's the most enjoyable part of YouTube. It's just the fact that he's underappreciated is just a flat out lie. They had this huge ceremony for him because he broke the passing yards thing. And people are still bitching that he's underappreciated. Yeah, sure, he got a little certificate, big whoop. They stopped the game. His family gone to the football field. This didn't happen to Peyton Manning when he got all these things. They had a little ceremony where like they had a little standing ovation, which was fine. And then they had the little thing with the wide receivers where they kind of tried to play keep away from him. That's fine. But the thing what they did was they had these Hall of Famers up there, and it was too much. Even the thing with Peyton Manning I thought was a slightly overdone, but not really worth talking about. This though, this is just way too much. And I think what makes this point makes it more significant is the fact that the biggest thing about Drew Brees is he's underappreciated, underrated. The fact what they did on that Monday night against the Redskins, I want to say, was just, it was overdone. Like, please stop. It's cringy just thinking about it. And, Drew Brees, he's still a great quarterback, but, a lot of people realize he's a great quarterback. And that's who he is, just a great. Is he an all-time great? Is he up there with Montana? No, he's not. He's not. And I definitely feel as if you want to talk about underappreciative, for when it comes to cheating in sports, now I don't think if you necessarily cheat, that means that, that defines you. I think a lot of people who hate on a lot of players, like whether it's A-Rod, I've heard in baseball, people would be like, oh, like he probably doesn't deserve it and all that. I still think A-Rod's a Hall of Famer. I still do. Call me an idiot, I still do. But when it comes to Brees, no one brings up Bountygate. And sure, he probably didn't have, he probably wasn't affiliated, obviously because he's an offensive player. But think of Spygate, though, with the Patriots. I mean, people still hold that against Brady. People who basically don't think like he's the GOAT and stuff like that. And no one brings that up with Drew Brees. I'm not saying they should, because I personally don't want to negate Drew Brees for that. But at the same time, though, he never gets that baggage on him. And sure, maybe he's not the guy that gets talked about the most. However, though, if you get talked about more, the haters start coming out. That's just how it works. I want to see hear your guys' comments are. Alright, comment down below. Sorry I haven't been uploading a while. Sorry for the quality of the video. I have some, let's just say, some technical difficulties right here. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.